Well, Statoil have been, in terms of practical operational experience of dealing with the carbon sequestration, they are far ahead of anybody else. They've done more and learnt more than anybody else, and that's going to position them well in a world which is going to need the kind of experience that the oil companies have in managing reservoirs and in transporting and storing CO2. But at the end of the day, that work is not going to be of as much value as it could be to the world if you don't have the utilities wanting to take up that skill and expertise. So, tremendously credit to Statoil for the lead they've taken. But as with the rest of the industry, they've got to get engaged in the broader policy debate.
I think Statoil is important in really their pioneering role. So they have a huge amount of experience in the issue. Trude Sundset, who we heard from today, is deeply involved in many of the activities in the international arena, and Norway in many ways serves as a bit of a beacon or a pathfinder in terms of some of these issues, and I think. Again, the long-standing experience with Sleipner and the fact that they've made that data available to a range of groups, academics in many different countries, I think has helped that process by increasing the transparency so that it isn't just trust us, we're Statoil, this is our analysis of the data, but rather it's allowing independent experts to come in and verify this.
What can the international community learn from what you have done in Statoil?
Well, we have done CO2 capture and injection and storage of CO2 in saline aquifers for more than 10 years. So obviously there's a lot of learn from that experience, and we've shared our data and we've done a lot of modeling work that we would be happy to share with the rest of the world.
It's been a lot of focus on Statoil and Norway when it comes to CCS here at Offshore Europe. Why does Statoil and Norway have such a leading role on this?
Well, it started with our politicians who really got involved in this, and then they introduced an offshore CO2 tax very early on, and that influenced, of course, the way that we operate on the Norwegian continental shelf with energy efficiency and also with CCS projects.
I think going forward, the challenge, of course, is that, as I like to say, the world is not Norway. The UK is not Norway. Germany is not Norway. Decisions that can be taken in a country of 4 million are much more difficult in larger countries like the UK or particularly the US. And so I think there are some useful bits of information. So there's some useful experience that you gain from Norway, from the Norwegian experience, both at the technical level and at the political level. But I think going forward, there's a need for each country to really begin to move forward with the technology on their own.